So you want to see what I've been doing to cheer myself up? So you probably already heard Bryan Kohberger. He's on trial for the Idaho 4 killings, and he came out with his official alibi. His attorney, Ann Taylor, submitted his official alibi. Bryan Kohberger was driving out in the countryside and looking at the stars and the moon. So I decided to make an accurate artist's interpretation of what that might look like. See? He was out saying goodnight to the moon. See? It's just like the book, Goodnight Moon, a Bryan Kohberger Alibi by Ann Taylor. Look at that. He was just saying goodnight, moon. I think the jury will bite this. Do you? That is his alibi. Goodnight, moon. That is not going to hold up. That ain't going to hold up with a jury, guys. Like, what? Goodnight, moon?
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Bitches. Hello guys, as you can tell, I'm not crying anymore, yay. Oh, I was sitting here and I'm like, what can I do to make myself feel better? Music, good music, rock music, music that was made before 1999. Like, hi Frank, that's gonna be a thing around here. this channel, that's gonna be a thing. Was it made before 1999? We're gonna give a few exceptions. Lady Gaga, she gets an exception. She's the exception to the rule, guys, okay? I was born in Palm Springs, born and raised in Palm Springs, okay? According to Peter Mon, that's the gay mecca. So, I mean, I have to allow an exception for Lady Gaga. I just do, okay? She is one of the saints of Palm Springs, so, like, she gets an exception. She's the exception to the rule, Lady Gaga. I'm sure there's another couple people I could throw in there, but for the most part, good music happened before 1999. And I didn't come up with that. Mark and Brian did, who used to be famous radio DJs. I should find that. I should try to find that radio I bet they have some old radio programs, but I've been linking music for you guys. I linked a lot of Fleetwood Mac yesterday. I was listening to Fleetwood Mac yesterday because of Peter Mon, and then his video popped on. I'm like, oh. But, yeah, listening to some of that music was really good, and then I put the lyrics. What's nice about YouTube, I'm sure Spotify does this, because they all basically use the same, you know, software programs. They just tailor it to look like, you know, this is on Spotify, and this is, you know, their own style for their sites, you know what I mean? So, it plays the lyrics so you can, like, karaoke with it, and I'm singing along, and I'm like, wow, rock lyrics from before, like, from the 70s, rock music specifically, 60s, shit, 80s probably too. Way better lyrics. The lyrics are good. Some of the Fleetwood Mac, like, lyrics, or like Eagles and stuff, I feel like it feels, I don't know, it's I don't know, I just feel like the lyrics are a lot better than, like, today's lyrics. It's not as literal as a lot of lyrics I feel like are written today. There's a lot of lyrics, they're literal. Where here it's kind of like coded, like, let's see. Oh, I'm trying to find a line in here. What song was I listening to before this? Give Me Shelter, I was listening to that. What is this? Oh, what was the lyric I liked? See the fire is sweeping our very streets today, burns like a red coal carpet, Mad Bull lost your way. Do you ever hear lyrics like that today that are kind of coded? Like, where you kind of have to think about it, like poetry? Taylor Swift, maybe. Like, it's very literal today. It's like, I got my driver's license. The girl that sings about her driver's license or whatever. It's just very little. Or, all about that bass, which we know it was about butts. And what's a new song? Like, I think Lana's stuff is kind of poetry-esque. But, yeah, it just... There's no oomph like the music was back then. There's no... Maybe later we'll put on one of the pop festivals. So usually when Coachella rolls around and I see people and the reviews coming out and it's like, wah, wah, I put on one of the pop festivals. Those were put on in like the 60s and 70s, and they had the Monterey Pop Festival was the most popular one, but they had a couple pop festivals down here in Palm Springs, and they would have like The Doors, or I'm trying to think of who else played. Jimi Hendrix played it, Janis Joplin, all the big names from back in the day played a pop festival. They had one in Atlanta, Los Angeles. I remember my father telling me about, he had a uncle or something that owned a gas station by one of the record buildings, you know, the famous one that has the shape. Yeah, he had a gas station over there, and the guy gave him like tickets to the pop festival, and my dad was like 13, right, or 14, and I guess his uncle didn't really know what it was or something, but dropped him off there, and he said he saw, like, Jefferson Airplane, like, walking through and stuff. He said he walked around and he bought, like, a poster that glue in the dark and, like, I think a pipe or something, but, like, he said it was just really random. He just got, like, dropped off, this kid, 14, at the pop festival in L.A., like, so I think maybe we'll find some, like, pop festival stuff and play it later, and I'll link it. Because, yeah, I'm really over YouTube. Remy put out her next Coachella vlog. I'm just over. I'm over classism on YouTube, guys. Yeah, I'm over people making me feel like I'm less than because I don't have more than 1,000 subscribers after my name on YouTube. Facts. Prove me wrong. So, music, art today. I've seen things that say, like, even, like, singing along to the music and stuff will help. It helps raise your dopamine. So, I don't want to become fully depressed. I don't want to just feel like, you know what, I'm just going to start sleeping through my life. Because that's what I used to do. I used to sleep through my life because I was so sad and so lonely. And so there was days where I would literally wake up, and if I felt depressed, I'm like, you know, today I'm just gonna check out and sleep through it. Like, sleeping is really my coping mechanism. I always wondered if you could ever become addicted to sleeping, because I used to be a big sleep fan, is what I love sleeping, but now I feel like I don't want to sleep because I'm scared of ending up where I end back up in this, like, sleep, pain, coma, depression thing where all I want to do is sleep, because the dream world is way better than my real world. Does that make sense? When you have dreams and you can do things in your dreams that you can't do in normal life, like walk, run, fly, go places, leave your home, have friends. You rather dream and you rather sleep through it, you know what I mean? So, I'm trying to keep myself out of the dream world and the sleep world, and yeah. My therapist told me you can't become addicted to sleep, but I don't know. I don't know, like, I love sleeping. I like sleeping, like, and I think it's because of my dreams and stuff. It's just, I'm a sleep fan, but I don't want to get stuck in that, so that's why I'm like, I'll try to stay up and have anxiety about sleeping now, like, but I'm on medication for that, so that helps and all that. So I'm just broken, guys. I'm so broken. I'm a broken toy, and nobody wants to play with me. It's okay. I got my cats. I have rock music. I have my art. I can draw myself friends. It'll be fine. I'll be fine. It's just some days will be gray and some days will be blue, but I promise I'm still gonna try and show up for you, because that's, you know, what my goal is with my YouTube channel, is to show up and to be there, even if no one shows up here. Music! So you want to see what I've been doing to cheer myself up? So, you probably already heard Bryan Kohberger. He's on trial for the Idaho 4 killings. And, he came out with his official alibi. His attorney, Ann Taylor, submitted his official alibi. Bryan Kohberger was driving out in the countryside and looking at the stars and the moon. So I decided to make an accurate artist's interpretation of what that might look like. This is what I came up with. See? He was out saying goodnight to the moon. See? It's just like the book, Goodnight Moon, a Bryan Kohberger Alibi by Ann Taylor. Look at that. He was just saying goodnight, moon. I think the jury will bite this. Do you? What do you think, Philip? Philip doesn't think they'll buy this. You need help? He's been writing the struggle bus all day. He's such a baby, yes. Oh. That is my artist's interpretation of Bryan Kohberger Alibi, which it ain't gonna fly with the jury or the judge. Like, come on, guys. Really? Like, Goodnight Moon is his alibi. That is his alibi. Goodnight Moon. That is not gonna hold up. That ain't gonna hold up with a jury, guys. Like, what? Goodnight Moon? No. Dude, no. This is a no, Bryan Kohberger. That... What? I made an artistic interpretation. See, here's the bigger version of him. You can see more of the countryside. But this is what he says he was doing, guys. He was driving through the countryside and looking at the fucking moon. This is what he says he was doing. He was driving and saying goodnight to the moon and the stars. No one's gonna fucking believe this. He's getting the pew pew squad. He is getting the fucking pew pew squad. I kept telling Patrick, you know, like, this is so funny. If someone needs to do something that says goodnight moon, and so, well, I did it. I tried to do it with AI first, but the AI wasn't coming up with it, so I just kind of did my own. So I did the background, and then I copied the goodnight moon letters, and then I found a font that kind of matched that, but... Yeah, look at that. I did that in an hour, guys. Goodnight Moon. Bryan Kohberger. I should put that on my Instagram. That's pretty cute. I'm going to put that on my Instagram and see what everybody thinks. Yeah. Maybe later. I don't know. I'm going to chill for a little bit and watch some Peter Mon. I just thought that would be funny. So, yeah. I stuck it on YouTube, so, yeah. But, that shit ain't gonna fly, guys. Fucking saying goodnight to the moon and the stars. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? So it's later. I posted my Bryan Kohberger picture up. That's gonna be the thumbnail for this vlog, because it's funny. It's funny. Patrick liked it.
That is really funny.
It is really funny. So we're having comfort.
You did a good job on it, too.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. It's really funny. Like, that was immediately what I thought of was Goodnight Moon. So we're having pad thai. Wasn't going to watch Pretty Unfiltered. No, this is my comfort food. I wasn't going to watch Pretty X Unfiltered or whatever this podcast is going to be called. But when I saw on the Snark Reddit that someone said that they have to change their podcast name because of the trademark thing. It's like, we should listen to that. As Patrick being a business major, I mean, me who has started my own business.
It's all a part of doing the due diligence. When you pick out a business name, or podcast name, you need to make sure that you can own the rights to it.
Yeah, and you can search all that on the website. Like, there's a lot of tutorials and free help on learning how you can file your own trademarks. I've done that on stuff. So, like, I know how that works, and I know how to go search that and stuff, because I've had help and I've educated myself. And this is part of the reason why I've probably looked like a weirdo trying to be like, hey, Alicia, you should DM me. Because I know a lot of this stuff, and I've seen you guys say, like, you're fine, especially you, Alicia, and then clearly you're not.
Just because you got lucky with, people watching your videos doesn't mean you understand what it takes to do a business venture.
Really, a lot of times, just basic business practices can be applied to anything. Entertainment. They like to tell you guys influencing is a new space. It really isn't. It's being a celebrity. It's being a celebrity. I mean, influencing, it's another way of modeling, being an actor. You're just putting videos on YouTube. You're just putting content up on a new form of media. That's all it is. It's just technology. That's the only difference. Nothing else has really changed. Do you get that? Yeah, you get a check from Daddy Google every month on the 21st, I believe, but I wouldn't know. I've never been monetized, but yeah, and you are basically like a contractor, and so you're going to have to pay your own taxes out of that and stuff, and and there's a lot of things you can do to deduct things and shit. Like, there's just a lot of things I've seen, and I'm just concerned, and it doesn't seem like management, like, why didn't they catch this? Why didn't they catch this about the trademark thing?
Yeah, that's a big red flag.
Yeah, that's a big red flag that your management didn't care enough, because they're going to be getting a cut of the sponsors that come out of this show, this podcast, or yeah, basically it's a show. Like, it's a podcast. It's a form of media. It's just where it's being stuck out. Like, there's nothing different. Like, so just concerned about Alicia and seeing all these things, and then what happened with, the clothing company, and just...
It's not good.
It's not good. Just because I'm someone who sits at home and has 3 digits after my YouTube name, and what is it on Instagram? I'm in the thousands, so what would that be, 4 digits? Yep. And no TikTok, and I live in this little apartment, and, doesn't mean I don't know things. It doesn't mean I'm not educated. It doesn't mean jack shit. Because apparently I do know more. I've filed trademarks. I've done the work. I know how to use Photoshop. Apparently Remy doesn't. I know how to use Premiere Pro. Alicia has demonstrated. You have demonstrated. You don't know how to do that. Heath and Zane, part of the vlog squad, apparently don't know how to search for trademarks either. Or understand liability shit with David.
Yeah.
And that just because their clout doesn't clout and being promoted in a video does not transfer monetarily like you guys like to think it does all the time. It doesn't always, Things are getting concerning. This is what I pointed out. Like, this is what I've been screaming about into the void for the last, 6 months, maybe? I don't know.
6 months, yeah.
And it's because I care. It's because I've watched Alicia for years. One thing I haven't pointed out, but, I think I talked about it in my tumor video, but, I I struggled a long time with my health and having pancreatitis and a lot of GI issues and getting sick and having a lot of my back never healed right, having a lot of extreme anxiety, depression, and that was partly because my tumor was undiagnosed. And there was a point where I was just tired of going to doctors because nothing was helping, and so I just kind of quit going to doctors, and I did get off of my mental health meds. I was on a previous like anti-anxiety med, and I got off of it, and it was really bad for me. And during the pandemic, I was scared to go back to the doctors. I actually went to a doctor, and she wasn't very nice. She wasn't very concerned about like me not having a period for 10 years. She was more concerned about like pointing out other stuff that I wasn't there for. Yep. And I didn't go to the doctors for like a year. And I saw where Alicia talked in her video about how she went back to the doctors for her anxiety that she had, and it wasn't a big deal. She was able to do it over the like a phone visit thing, and I was like, wow, that's kind of cool that they're doing the telehealth now, and it sounds pretty common. And well, shit, you know, I've been struggling a lot. Maybe it's time for me to get back on the doctor, because I knew eventually I was going to have to go back to the doctors. I just needed a break. And if you're someone who's dealt with chronic illnesses, and not all of us can just take a break like I did and just sleep through it. Like I said, like I've talked earlier today about like how I would sleep through my pain and sleep through my depression, and I just rather sleep because it was better. And well, Alicia was like in the vlog. Now, I don't have friends around. I have Patrick and my mom, and they don't have mental health issues like me. They don't have chronic health issues like me. And so I hadn't heard anybody say, hey, I went to the doctors for my anxiety and it wasn't a big fucking deal. And just hearing someone else say that was like encouraging to me. So I went back to the doctors, and he ran a fuck ton of blood work on me. Well, one thing that no one ever ran on my blood work was my prolactin levels, which were higher than a 9-month pregnant woman's. They were like 3 times what a 9-month pregnant woman who was getting ready to give birth had. That's how fucked my hormones were. And he was able to help me get them straightened out. Yeah, I'm on the pill, it's fucked up, but I don't have the problems like I did. Like, look, I'm getting a vlog up every day. I'm more with it. During the pandemic, when I started going to the doctors and getting clearer with my mind was when I started learning Photoshop, Premiere Pro. I started teaching myself Adobe Illustrator. I've also started getting into, like, I know it's just GarageBand, but music, art. I started a business. I've done a lot of things. And I always think back to, well, if I didn't have that one vlog to watch to encourage me, how long would have it taken me to get back to the doctors? And would I have ended up with this doctor who happened to ran a fuck ton of blood work? He like ran everything like a vampire. And yeah, so that's why I'm concerned, you know. And just it feels like it was someone who helped me out at a time where I couldn't see clearly because of how fucked everything was. And I just feel the same way about, like, I feel like she's in a fog right now or something, and there's a lot that's wrong and not good. And I just wish I could help. And she's one of those people that we've seen where she says she's okay until she's not. So I'm concerned. So yeah, I'm gonna eat my pad thai. We're gonna listen to this. Thanks for coming to my little talk. I know I've been dealing with the depression and stuff, but having Patrick and my mom helped. My mom gave me a nice hug when she came home today, and it was nice. And Patrick got me pad thai, and so yeah. And then I did an art piece I did an art piece and got it up. Listened to rock music. We were talking about how Mark and Bryan, do you remember them, the radio show?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, how they did a radio program. I could not find any clips of it, but where they talked about how there was no good music after 1999.
You know, I was watching your vlog.
Yeah.
From yesterday, and you were saying that.
Yeah.
And I immediately thought, oh, Mark and Bryan.
Yeah.
But then when you mentioned them again, it almost sounded like you were saying the program was just about how there was no music. So I was like, oh, maybe she's talking about somebody else, because I was going to comment on there that it was Mark and Bryan.
Yeah, it is Mark and Bryan. They did, it was like a day, you know, like one of those days where they had like the show. They ended up just talking about how there was no good music after 1999. And that was when you started getting a lot of like pop or artists that were very super curated by like the record companies and stuff, and that was kind of part of the problem. I also talked about the pop festivals earlier today too.
Okay.
How that we had some down here it was in Palm Springs. We could actually go visit where they had the pop festival. It's like an old parking lot type thing. It was a drive-in originally, so we should go over there sometime and check it out.
Yeah, we could do
that would be cool. But yeah, so just chit chat, whatnot, you know. But it helps. It helps to have people to talk to and lean on, and you know, not everybody wants something from somebody, you know. Sometimes we just want to help because it makes you feel better.
And sometimes it's the right thing to do.
It is the right thing to do. When honestly, if I ever feel like I see somebody who's struggling, I help them, because I would hope that if someone saw something wrong with me or something that was going, they would help me or step aside. So I don't know. It's kind of who I am. I get a lot of pride over like being able to help people and do things for people or animals who can't do anything to say thank you or do anything for you in return, you know, type deal.
Yeah.
You know, because it's not about the parade or anything. It's just about the feeling you get at the end of the day, you know. And it probably has a lot to do with me, you know, sitting at home and stuff, and feeling useless with my chronic illnesses, but, you know, we all find our way in the world and our path and our journey, and that's part of mine, so, yeah. So, yeah. Pretty X Unfiltered, well, no name podcast.
Yeah, to be continued.
Yeah.
Murph? No, it's not Murph. I have to pee. Fuck, I definitely think Murph. That's a different guy. That's so proper. Oh. Okay. Anyways, tell the vlog. Because I'm sure some people will be like, that's so mean that you let her run. How do you feel about it, really? That you let me run? Yeah, because we were at the bar and we're like, she ran. We're going to let her, like, run. No. Oh my god, look at Holly vlogging over there. Oh, they're going to the bathroom. Here's the thing. I would be mad if you didn't let me run. That's true. And that's true. And I know like, that.
Why should anyone not let someone else do that?
You run?
Live their life.
Cut to this clip right now.
According to police, they're searching for 3 men with blonde hair who allegedly sexually assaulted a 17-year-old girl inside a portable bathroom. It happened around 8:30 last night, just near the entrance of the event off Avenue 51. The victim was taken to a local hospital for medical treatment.
Yeah. I don't need to provide any commentary. You guys know, right? Great job, Remy. Great job watching your friend. Yeah. If she's ever assaulted, are you going to be happy you just let her run? Because somebody targeted her for her camera. There are men who go to Coachella, because I know police officers who used to work during that. From when I was an EMT, I also remember this, that target women specifically to assault them at Coachella, and they will pull them into dark areas. There's a lot of them around there. We've been over there.
Yep.
And yeah, because they're very drunk and their friend just wanted to let them run. Great job, Remy.
Despite these express prohibitions, the defense commissioned a survey that included potential jurors in Latah County, and as part of the survey conveyed, quote, the identity or nature of evidence expected to be presented at trial, and then something is redacted. More problematic still, we're seeing this word pop up more and more in legal filing.
Problematic, yeah. So I'm watching Emily go over Kohbergers Good Night Alibi. Good night, Moon. Good night, Moon. Look. Noe came to say, what do you think of that, Noe? My cat? My cat heard me and he's like, that alibi is shit. That alibi is shit. Okay. Focus camera. It's too early to be doing this shit camera. Okay, here we are. Yes, I just kind of got with it. I'm going to try to paint my nails tonight and get some shit together. Yeah, so I thought I'd end this vlog. It's probably kind of long and chock full of a lot of stuff and everything, but I really thought it was cool to, like, I don't know, the Kohbergers Alibi sucked so bad, and I just kept thinking, it's like, did he look at the book Goodnight Moon and was like, this would make sense for my alibi, and gave it to his, it's like he gave the book Goodnight Moon to Ann Taylor and said, make this my alibi. Like, I don't know what he's thinking. It's just, I've heard so many attorneys say this isn't gonna work. I've heard so many normal people who are gonna be the type of people on the jury who are like, this isn't gonna work for me. Goodnight Moon. That's Bryan Kohbergers Alibi. So we talked a lot about a lot of stuff. So if you are going to Coachella weekend too, remember, watch your friends. Don't just let them run off in a field, because you just gotta let them run, because there could be someone who was watching you let go of your drunk friend and is going to pull her into a dark corner and grape her. Because that happens at Coachella. I've treated patients that had that happen when I was an EMT. I know cops who used to talk about that happening all the time. It's a thing. And remember my past vlogs, we've been over to Coachella when there's no one around. Remember all the little nooks and crannies I would show you and shit? Yeah. Cats, so yeah, watch your friends, pay attention. Sometimes in group settings it is almost good to have a designated sober friend, or someone who's not going to be drinking as much, to pay attention, because there are people out there who specifically will look for a group of drunk people and target them. I know, like, on YouTube, like, people will curate things a lot and try to make it look pretty and look a certain way. Like, Bryan Kohberger is trying to curate his, alibi to look like Goodnight Moon. Coachella looks real pretty, and it looks real fun, and it looks real, like, hippy-dippy. We get to, like, just drink and smoke weed and spin in a field, and it's great, and it's not like that. It's not like that. But influencers have so long and made you guys think it looks like that, and it's not. They're really breathing in horse shit. Remember, that's a polo field. They put a lot of manure and chemicals down throughout the year. And when Coachella comes around, they kind of let that ground dry out a little bit so it's more packed. And you're breathing horse shit. People are getting raped and assaulted, shizolted, and getting mugged, and because no one's paying attention over there, and they think it's just, woohoo. There are groups of gangs down here who specifically will target groups like this during Coachella. Think about it. So yeah, nothing's perfectly curated on this channel, as you guys know. I was crying in the last vlog. This vlog, I made you a Photoshop meme of Bryan Kohberger to make myself feel better. And I needed that. I needed an artistic representation of his alibi, because it sucks. But, yeah, We don't curate shit on this channel. This is real life, bitches. This is real life. This is how it is. Some days are going to be depression days. Some days are going to be like the vlog I'm going to start, where I'm just trying to cattle prod myself to do something so that I don't get stuck. This is life. So, I hope you guys are doing well doing life, because it's hard. But I feel like, you know, when you have like some camaraderie, you know, like, because life sucks, you know, it doesn't always feel so bad to know you're not alone in like the shits, right? So, I love you guys. Be safe this weekend. I have a playlist linked below. It's a lot of music, because that's what I was mostly listening to, was music. But music sometimes is a really good therapy. You know, like I said, like sometimes singing those lyrics, it's like singing good gospel music. Some of that classic rock, like Fleetwood Mac, some of that stuff is really good, like the lyrics. So, find yourself some good music. And yeah, I love you. Be safe, all the things. I'll see you in the next one, guys.